Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Hey, we're pretty pumped to talk to Pastor Tim Needham again. Pastor, how are you?
Man, it's so good to be here with you guys again. We're doing great. How about you? How about you guys?
We are doing good. We can't complain.
Yeah, we're doing wonderful because we're at home, right, Dan? That's why we're
yes. I mean, we could complain, but it wouldn't do any good. So we're good.
Pastor Tim and his wife pastor Living Way World Church in Covington. And before we went live, I was talking to Pastor Tim about Covington. I mean, I'd been through Covington years and years ago, and we decided to go out to dinner one Saturday night, and I didn't have a clue. That place is a rockin' place to go to. So go ahead and make your appointments to go eat and then go to church over at Living Way World Church and go by and see Pastor Tim and the crew. Hey, it's been a while since we've talked to you. I wanted to catch up with you. I think I'm trying to remember when we talked to you, but we were right smack dab in the middle of having nobody at church or just a few. I can't remember. What was it?
Yeah, what happened? We were just coming out of quarantine. They were just allowing us to assemble, and we just had started getting back. And I think it's just like every church. You see people out. You were at the square the other day. People are out now.
Yeah,
and they're doing their shop and they're doing everything else. But I think one of the things that we're finding is a lot of people are still not comfortable coming to church, and we want to make sure that, if you're comfortable going to Publix or you're comfortable going to some of these shopping centers, come back to church and get back in a place of fellowship. I believe one of the biggest things people are missing right now is relationship. Because like you guys said, you guys are sitting at home right now. You can get isolated. We need to check on our people, see how everybody's doing. Because you see so many people that are falling by the wayside, or their suicide rates are up and hospital rates are up. So we really need to check on our people right now.
Mm-hmm. I know Dan and I get the privilege of talking to pastors and leaders of every size church, mega church, middle-sized church, small church, and every one of them are saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's about what, Dan? 65%, maybe 70, some maybe even 75 if they're fortunate. To me, and this is just me, I think some of it is just a little bit of a habit. Everybody got into a habit of kind of watching it at home in their underwear.
Yeah.
And so, now it's like, well, I could just watch Pastor Tim on the screen, but it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same. Jesus always welcomed people to him. You never find where Jesus separated himself from anybody. He even brought the lepers to him. He brought the sick to him. He never ran away from anything. And he taught us about relationship, and we need relationship now more than ever. I will tell you, you see so many people hurting because they've been sitting at home, and people didn't check on them. Maybe we tried to check on them, but people really got lonely, and depressed, and we see depression and oppression has really been, spiking in this community for sure.
Tim, what kind of exciting things are going on at the church? We had Easter a couple of weeks ago. How did that go? And what kind of things do you have coming up?
We had a fantastic Easter this year. Resurrection Sunday last year, it was virtual only. So we were excited to get back. Our prayer team had the sunrise service, and then we had a great service here at the church. So it was phenomenal. The church was celebrating being back, and it was great to be in Victory Sunday. Mm-hmm. But one of the big things we got coming up this week, we're talking to you guys about it. Real Talk Kim Jones. A lot of you that are watching today know who that is. She's going to be with us Saturday night from 6 to 9. This is a men and women's conference. It's going to be phenomenal. You can Google her, Real Talk Kim. You just don't want to miss that. All you got to do is sign up, livingwayga.org. It's a free event. And we're really hoping and just believing that everybody's going to come out and be a great night of fellowship, a great night of fun. And so we're looking forward to seeing everyone.
All right.
That's awesome. The website, again, is livingwayga.org. So sign up. And hey, if you need space, they'll give you space, but it's going to be cool. Now is the time to show up. And I think folks are, they're all dusty and they're ready to get back. I know the response from the folks in our church. They're like, man, we just have been missing this so much, hungry to just see each other, elbow each other, hug each other, whatever you want to do, mask, no mask. But it's really, really cool. I wanted to ask you something. I was watching a message of yours, and I love this line. I wrote it down. Don't be impressed with the size of your problem. I love the way you said that. And that's, I love, hey, I'm like everybody else, I guess. There are times I'll look at my problem. I think, man, is this a huge problem? God, I know you're there, you're helping me, but this problem seems to be bigger than what I can handle. What a line.
I have, I love that line. I have another quote that says, I am who I am says I am. I am who God says I am. So, these problems are not bigger than our God. I said this a couple of Sundays ago, Jesus plus anything else equals nothing. You know what I mean? Jesus, we don't need to add anything to Jesus. Our problems are not bigger than him. So we're trusting him to carry all our problems. This season that we're going through, a lot of us have prophesied about this season. We've talked about this season for years. All the ministers I've talked about tough times coming. Now it's time for the pastors and the ministers and the leaders to raise up and don't let these problems be so big. Let's encourage, equip, and empower our people to be better than they've ever been. I think this is a great season to build disciples to the nations and to our communities. We just sent a group down to Daytona Beach, Bike Week. During that time, a lot of the hotel owners will kick out the people that are living there, the ones that pay by the week, and they don't have anywhere to go. They have children, they have families, and they don't have anywhere to eat. So our team goes down and we set up for a couple of weeks, and we just make sure everybody has a good, hot, quality meal, and we take care of and minister to them during that time. So no problem is too big for God.
So what kind of fruit have you seen from that program going down to the beach there and ministering to those folks?
It's amazing. They look so forward to it. We go as much as we can. A lot of you probably know Norval Hayes. Brother Norval Hayes started this ministry way back when he bought this property in the early 80s. And we have continued on with Pastor Chris Sarno and his church down there. And we've seen many testimonies where people have came out of that poverty or came out of that situation. Now they're going to church, they're working jobs, they're going through programs, and we're seeing the manifestation of the work, and it's about loving people. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. People need relationship. And a lot of times, unfortunately, these people are looked down on. People say, why don't they get a job? Well, a lot of them don't know how to get a job. They don't know how to get out of the situation. So it's up to us ministers to take, the church outside the four walls and make sure that we're reaching the people.
Pastor Tim Needham, Bishop Tim Needham there at Living Way World Church. Last time we talked to you, I think we talked about having the pulse. You guys love doing missions around the world, ministering to other countries. Has that changed much since everything kind of broke loose? Or how's everybody around the world?
Well, it's doing really good. I had a minister from Kenya on my program on Saturday, and they're back on lockdown. They just locked them down about 2 weeks ago. The churches are back on lockdown, and they've got curfews. And, some of it's political. A lot of it is political. But, they're going through it again, just like what we went through a year ago. So it's very tough for them to travel. It's very tough for us to go there. Peru, where we go to quite a bit, is on complete lockdown right now. So, but we're believing God. We've already got teams that are prepared to go, but we just can't go right now. One of the things you don't want to do is put somebody in unsafe condition, and you want to make sure you get out and minister. But we're believing, and I tell our church all the time, we're getting ready to go as soon as these countries open back up.
Talking to Bishop Tim Needham, livingwayga.org is the website. Tim, as we're kind of still in this transition period from COVID, hopefully back to normalcy eventually.
Right.
Good leaders are always, pouring into themselves with, whatever. What is it that you are pouring into yourself over the last few weeks to a month here?
Man, a lot of prayer and a lot of, really getting educated about what's going on in the world. When the vaccines came out, we as leaders, because, there's a lot of controversy about vaccines and things like that. Me and my wife, we had to learn about the different types of vaccines. So when our people came to us and said, hey, what do you think about, the Pfizer, the Moderna, the Johnson & Johnson? What do you think about these vaccines? So what we did is we brought on a gentleman named Dr. Pepe Ramnath. He's a minister friend of mine, but he's also a scientist, and he knew a lot about the vaccine. So he's able to come on and talk to us about, the different, there's some side effects, but there's a lot more benefits than there is side effects. And I'm not trying to be political or anything like that, but we should look for we should look for a solution to help people make the right decision about their health. I mean, that's what we're here for, to pray with them, to come in agreement with them. And, I'll tell you this, I don't mind telling you, I've had my vaccine, and I would strongly suggest, that people consider it and pray. You talk to your doctor, talk to your pastor, pray about it. But I believe they're safe, and I believe they're very effective. And we know this: you don't want to get COVID-19.
No, you don't.
No, and Dan and I both have had our shots. I go in for number 2 in a couple of weeks. Dan got the one and done. I mean, he's a rock star.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for doing that, because you know what? You're right. There's been a lot of controversy, and hey, in our church, I mean, there are a few people that just, they're just going to say, oh, well, they are saying, nah, I'm not going to do it. To each his own, I guess. But thank you for educating the public and caring for them. And, I always remember a scripture. Sometimes, folks back in the day, I remember folks were just kind of against all medicine. But, I think in Revelation, I don't remember where it says that in heaven, there are trees with healing leaves on them. So I got to believe in a lot of these medicines at one point, were things that were natural things. So I just got to believe that, the rains on the just and the unjust. I got to believe that God has mercy and care and wants everybody to be, taken care of. So thank you so much for educating people and to do that and doing that. Bishop Tim Needham, it is Living Way World Church. You can go to livingwayga.org. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith.